I'm showing here some of the housings. We just received the prototype housings for the TULIP in various variations, transparent and with a blob for a battery. It fits quite nicely. Some tweaking is still needed. This is the basic version of the housing with a flat top and a light guide where you can see the LED which is on the PCB. The housing can be very easily opened. That's the idea. It snaps together. And that is the version with the blob for the battery. I really like the transparent housing. You can test. You can see the battery and the electronics, and also the LEDs where it blinks. So I think the housings came out really nice. Thanks, Andrew, for the design and sending the prototypes. A little bit of tweaking is needed, but that shouldn't be too difficult in this case. Hi there. I want to show you some new features of the firmware that was updated and first of all guide you through the complete update process. So let's connect the TULIP. It's not inserted in the calculator. And look at the devices. You can see the devices here. And with some LS USB, you can see the TULIP devices here. So let's connect to the TULIP. It's already prepared. So it's CTY ACM0 here, and here you see the display system. And to go through the complete upgrade process, we'll put it in boot cell mode first. So that is done with the command system boot cell. It will then reset and present itself as a new type of drive, which we will see. This is, by the way, my Raspberry Pi. It's a Raspberry Pi 4. We will now go to the file manager where you can see the devices on the RP23 drive. So it's ready to receive new firmware. So the firmware is here on the file manager in on the temp drive, and we are doing the firmware for the module. If you have the dev board, you need to use this firmware. So simply copy this drive, it will copy, and when the copy is done, it will automatically reset. The drive will disappear, and a new device will present itself. So if you go to the terminal, you can see it's already there. Just see what is there. It is also detecting a new medium, which is my SD card. Looks like everything is working fine and the new firmware is there. Here is the firmware version. It says it's the module version just to prevent any misunderstandings. I can read out the temperature. It's a pretty warm day here today. You see the identifier and the amount of memory. This is a bit of a glitch in the firmware, which is going to be fixed pretty soon. And the first thing that we do is inspect the flash. So see what is in flash. And you can verify that the flash is indeed 16 megabyte device as reported by the firmware and 16 megabyte as reported by the device. The first thing we want to do now is to completely erase all flash, and we do that by typing flash all. 4 seconds to cancel this operation, and after that it erases all flash in blocks. And that will take a bit of time. But I want to guide you through the whole process. In the development board, there is only 3 blocks to be erased, so that goes much quicker. The erasing process is simply something that takes a bit of time. So when the flash is completely erased, we need to initialize the file system. We will do that in a second. After the erasing is done, we have 16 megabyte of flash. They're erased in blocks of 1 megabyte here. Now we're at the last block. And this is it. Next is to initialize flash init. So we have now initialized the file system. If we do list, you will see that the flash header is there. The next thing we want to do is actually import files so we can plug these. If I type dir, this is the listing of the micro SD card, and currently we only support ROM files, so we want to import all the files in the ROM directory. And this is the list. And there is a little trick that you can do with the import command, import ROM, and then type all. It will then import all files from the ROM directory into Flash. You can do the same with the mod files, but you cannot plug these. So to confirm with the list command, you can see all the files in Flash. The file needs to be in Flash before you can import it. If you want to get some details, for example, about the zprom.rom, you can type list zprom.rom and you'll get some details of that ROM. To list the files that are actually plugged, you use the cat command, like on the calculator itself. And the plug command has a number of features. There are 3 ROMs embedded in the firmware, HPIL, the EL printer, and the regular printer. And any other files can be plugged from Flash into the calculator. The calculator is not connected, but you can still do this. So if I type plug HPIL and then cat, you can see it is plugged in the calculator. And with the command unplug port 7, this goes by the page number, it is unplugged. So let's now insert the calculator. There's nothing plugged. If I now plug HPIL and then the HPIL is actually loaded in the calculator. So now we have HPIL available. Let's start the Python. So this is my Python ILPer, the emulator with the printer enabled and a drive here enabled. And if I now type directory listing in the calculator, you see that it is showing the directory listing of what is in the drive. So the next thing we want to do is plug the printer. Plug EL printer. It's now plugged in page 6, and you can see that here. And with the cat2, it shows in the listing. Let me change the light a bit. And you can see the listing here. Do a directory listing. The listing is also shown in the printer. Now let's also start the tracer. And the tracer is on one of the other serial devices. It's on ACM1. So you can immediately see that it is running the HPIL tracer. Let's stop this. This does have some impact on the performance of HPIL. In some cases, even a frame is lost, but that doesn't happen very often. And now let's plug another ROM, my own ROM, plug lrom.rom, and let's do that in page A. Page A, do cat, and the ROM is loaded here. One of the functions there is xcat, extended catalog, and we will do its own ROM, ROM21. And if you look at the printer, it will do checksum verify, and then show the detailed listing of the function table of this ROM. And go to a few of the other new features. With help, of course, you can show the help. One of the things that is new is the fram function. So with the command fram, you get some details, and there is fram dump. There is no need to initialize fram. That is done completely automatic. So you can see the contents of the fram for debugging purposes, in this case for debugging the firmware. Another command is the emulate command. This is important if you plug one of the embedded ROMs, HPIL or the printer. This is done automatically, but you have to switch the emulation, the hardware emulation on or off. So emulate status currently is that HPIL is enabled and the printer is disabled. If you plug a printer ROM from flash, then you need to enable the printer emulation. For fun, there is still the blink command, blink 8, it will blink 8 times. And for the rest, most of the changes are under the hood, just to make things easier and to prepare for importing mod files, multiple banking, and also heapex. That is one of the next on the list to emulate. There is one other small trick in the cat. So if I do a cat of everything, then you see the list. If I do a cat of ROM A, of page A, then you will get details of page A, and that includes the dump of the ROM and some details which are here on top of the ROM that is plugged. So this is the ML ROM. Flags, this is internal stuff just to make sure that everything works. And this is preparation for multiple bank support.